Welcome attendees virtually, in addition to our guests watching this after the fact. This is our initial podcast and webinar on our YouTube channel that fantastic Jenny Sales, senior recruiter here at Apprenticely, will be hosting with our special guest. Jenny, can you kick us off?
You bet. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We are here with, oh goodness, I can't even operate. I got vacation brain, y'all. Josue Ramirez. And our topic today is uncovering hidden treasures, discovering financial opportunities to advance your career growth. You know, this is some really good information that can help you along the pathway. Just a little bit about, Apprenticely, we're here to help support you. We have a lot of different programs with our Reskill, as well as with our apprenticeship opportunities and work-based learning. So check out our website if you're thinking about changing careers, see how we can help support you along that way. Today, we have Josue Ramirez with us. He is with Arkansas Department of Higher Education. Today's webinar podcast is uncovering hidden treasures, discovering financial aid opportunities. It's really important to be able to understand where you can get those resources so that you can use those that are available. And so Josue today is a financial aid manager for the Arkansas Division of Higher Education and has dedicated the last 17 years to helping students access financial resources they need to further their education. Starting his career in financial aid as a work study, help me if I totally mess this up, Josue. Starting his career in a financial aid work study student at Henderson State University. Right down the road, we love Henderson. Josue worked his way up, ultimately becoming the financial aid manager for the state of Arkansas. He and his team of 6 are committed to making higher education affordable as possible for the students in Arkansas, helping them navigate scholarships and financial aid without the burden of loans or out-of-pocket costs. They're first in his family to graduate high school, earn a bachelor's degree, complete a master's degree. Jose has faced and overcome many of the same barriers students today experience. His personal journey has shaped his passion for supporting others who have similar challenges. We are excited to have him and share his insights today. Please welcome Jose.
Hey,
go ahead.
All right. Good morning or afternoon if you're watching this. I am here my job. I am the financial aid manager here for the Arkansas Division of Higher Education, and part of my job is try to help you, or you as a student, or you trying to help a student get free money to go to college. That's one of the barriers that I faced whenever growing up. I didn't have the information. The information wasn't readily available as it is today. I didn't know how much college cost, and because of all that, I just had these struggles. Because I had these struggles, I recognized other students have these same struggles. So that's kind of what motivated me to take this job and to kind of be in financial aid, to help those students in similar situations. So students are like this picture here. You're trying to pay for college and you're like, all I have is $3. Like, all I have is this. Like, what can I get for this? And in today's world, with costs going up, college is the tuition and fees are going up as well. So we definitely want to try to get you as much free money as we can. And so we do have about 13 different scholarships, and due to time restraints, I won't be able to get into all of them. I'm going to hit the major ones, the bigger ones that affect the larger population of students. Our biggest one is our Governor's Distinguished Scholarship. For these students, the students that apply for this scholarship can only be high school students. So high school seniors. So high school seniors are the only ones allowed to apply for the Governor's Distinguished Scholarship. They do need a 32 on their ACT. They do have to have a 3.5 on the GPA, unweighted GPA. If they don't have that GPA, but they still have that 32, they can still qualify for the Governor's Distinguished as long as they are a National Merit Finalist or a National Achievement Scholar. So this is our biggest one. So if you can, try to aim for that 32. If you can take the ACT as many times as you can, go for it. That 32 will get you $10,000 for the year. So that's for the year. Half of it is 5,000. So half for fall, half for spring. But that will take a huge that will pay a huge portion of your bill. And with that 32, you can more than likely, and I'm going to say definitely, get you a scholarship through the school to where that 5,000 you'll just get a little additional to where you will not have to pay for college, or the cost will be very, very little. So try to aim for that 32. That's the magic number. So I was a student that couldn't get a 32. I'll be a little vulnerable here and honest. I graduated with I don't remember my GPA. I definitely remember it was below a 2.5, and my highest ACT was a 16. I recognized I was still smart, so I took different paths to try to get scholarships. For the Arkansas Academic Challenge Scholarship, to qualify for that, you need a 19 on the ACT. We do super score, so that means taking all of your ACT tests, getting the highest number from each category, putting them all together, averaging them up. If it's a 19 or higher, we'll take it. Same with the Governor's Distinguished in our last slide. If you get a 32 super score, we'll take that. Like I said, I couldn't reach that 19, so I had to take a different path. AccuPlacer, there's a test called AccuPlacer. I do recommend these, the AccuPlacer, for students that were kind of like me. I had time, I couldn't manage time well. I just, I just a lot of anxiety that went into tests. AccuPlacer is a little bit better because AccuPlacer, it's not timed. You don't have to take all 3 sections in one day. You can take one week, one the next week, and then usually at the high school or at the college, it's free. So, or they have a voucher for it. So if you can't make that 19 on the ACT, try to aim for that 240. Just know there's another option, the AccuPlacer. It's a little less stringent on things for students. So that may be a better option to get them that free money that we want to give them. Once they do meet that 19 and they do have that 246, and they will apply through our website. I'll give that, I think it's at the end. They apply through our website, they create an application. We recommend that you don't use your high school email, because as soon as you graduate, that high school email is going to be locked. So try to use another email. We will award the student, and that usually happens around May.
Awesome.
What that means is we send out a notification to the students. Hey, you have gotten the scholarship. We want to make sure you're still going to college. If you are, just you'll have to read the rules and regulations, hit agree, and then we'll send your information to the college that you have on your account. It's very important to read those rules and regulations, because you want to make sure you're not surprised at the end of the year with like, oh, this is what I have to do, or oh, this is what needs to be done. So definitely read those rules and regulations and then hit accept. Part of those rules that go into keeping it is you do have to enroll in 15 hours each semester, and you have to enroll in 15 hours each semester to get the money for that semester. You can't split it up. You can't split 16 and 14, 13, and I can't do math, 12 and the other thing. It has to be 15 one semester, and minimum of 15 each semester. That does not mean you have to complete all 15 at the end of the year. You can withdraw or fail, and we'll go into that later. But you do have to enroll in 15. At the end of the year, you have to complete 30. If you don't complete 30 hours, no, there's extra steps needed at the end of the year to get your scholarship back in good standing. This is our second year of introducing students to forfeiting their first year. So high school students, once you get the scholarship, you'll get $1,000. Your second year, depending on whether you go to a 2-year or 4-year, it could be up to 4,000. That's a big jump, right? So most students, or some students, have already college credit hours. After
While they're in high school.
while they're in high school and after they graduated, you have concurrent courses that you've taken through college and they give you credit hours. If you have 27 or more, that's what's needed to be a freshman, or I'm sorry, to be out of that freshman status. You need 28 to 59 hours, I believe, to be a sophomore. If you want to forfeit that first year, that $1,000, that minimum amount, you can. When we award you the scholarship, there will be a small little blurb about what that means. You'll have to fill out a form, send us a transcript. As long as you have 27 hours, we will forfeit your first year. You'll get the sophomore amount. Recognize that you'll only get it for 3 years because you forfeited that freshman, but you can get it at that sophomore level. One of the reasons you wouldn't want to do this is if you plan on getting your master's and you need funding. So at the end, if you do have those 27 hours, you start college as a sophomore, you're going to graduate a year early. You're going to graduate your junior year, and you're missing out on your senior year. Well, we didn't think that was fair, so we introduced kind of a new policy, and that's you can use that last remaining year for your master's program, graduate program. There are a couple rules that go into that. It does have to be in Arkansas. It does have to start immediately following you graduating your bachelor's. You can't have like a gap year. And if you do, reach out and maybe we can put it on hold. But usually you can't have a gap year or 2 or 3 or 4. It has to start immediately after you graduate with your bachelor's. Ooh, so this one is one we're introducing this year, and we're really excited about it because it's it's not our first need-based, but it's one we haven't had one in a really long time. So again, we're always trying to find new ways of giving out money to those that we can. We introduced Challenge Plus, and what Challenge Plus is it's an additional scholarship with the academic challenge, and how much you get from it is based on the results from the FAFSA. So the FAFSA, you input your tax information, they determine a number, what's called a student aid index, and using that number, it's determined how much you received for Pell Grant and for now Challenge Plus. So we don't have it's the list is way too big for us to put all the numbers in. So I do want to just recognize that as a student aid index of 8,000 or more, anything above 8,000, unfortunately, they're not going to get anything. Anything below that, yes, they'll at least get some portion. It may not be much, especially if that student is at 7,999. They might get 20, $30. But it's still an additional funding for students. And I think the minimum we gave was like 250, so at least $250. The max that you can get is 5,000 a year, and to get that max, you'll have to hit that negative 1,500 student aid index. There's also I guess it's like from 1,000 to 500 to I'm going to say like 0, but there is a range that you can still, even though you're not at that negative 1,500, still get the full amount. Let's see. An important thing for students to know, so they don't, so if they're like me, they don't freak out. They don't have to apply for it. all they have to do is just fill out the FAFSA, and they have to fill out the FAFSA for the academic challenge. So as long as they complete all the requirements for the challenge, they'll do everything they need for the challenge plus.
Awesome.
That challenge plus amount, that SAI I mentioned earlier, that amount, that number will be given to us. It will be put in our little tables in our computer. Their computer will determine what you qualify and then just add that extra amount to your account. So nothing is needed to create an application. Now, I might have to backtrack of what I said. In order to get the challenge plus, you do have to fill out the FAFSA every year. So we get that new number. So just be aware you have to fill out the FAFSA every year for the challenge plus, but that is it. You don't have to fill out an application on our side. Just fill out that FAFSA every year to get the challenge plus. Our deadline is July 1st. So these are the amounts for our Arkansas Academic Challenge Scholarship and Challenge Plus. I hope I don't confuse you here, but chances are I will. For Academic Challenge and Challenge Plus, you can only get a total of $5,000. So, yeah, $5,000, and that's for the year. So let's look at this 4-year institution number, that 1,000 for freshmen. The max they can get is 5,000. So they would get 1,000 for the academic challenge scholarship and then 4,000 for the challenge plus if they get the full amount. That second year, 4,000 would come out of the challenge plus, and then 1,000 additional to make that 5,000 for those sophomores. Same with the juniors. And then with the seniors, they already get 5,000 for the academic challenge scholarship. So unfortunately, they won't get nothing for the challenge plus. So, any questions?
I think that this is definitely, so I do have a question. When, if someone's confused, like I'm sure at the end we'll talk a little bit more about like how they could reach out to somebody within your organization to ask questions, or if there's a quick fact sheet that they can go to on your website that will kind of go into detail as well, if they have questions.
Well, I can give them I can give you my email, or I can email, and then if they'll carbon copy the financial aid email that at the end, then we'll definitely get back in touch
Awesome.
and answer the questions.
Thank you.
Yeah. Some of our so the Arkansas Future is one of our smaller grants, but I really like this grant because there's kind of no limit to how much a student is funding. While there is, I'm really excited about it because it's small, but it's continuing to grow, and there's so much potential in this program. What the Arkansas Future Grant is it's a grant that helps cover tuition and fees for students that are going in that STEM field, that science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Most of those programs are in that one of those fields. There are a few that are not, but most of those programs are in the STEM field. It covers tuition and fees not covered by other financial aid. And so some of like these 2-year schools, I think it's Ozarka, they have a 2-year pilot program, and so it covers all tuition and fees. So their pilot program is like $9,000. So it covers $9,000 of their tuition and fees.
Wow.
So yeah, there is a limit for 4-year schools, but not any for 2 years.
Phenomenal.
There are a couple of, I guess, there are a couple of barriers that a student may face when applying. One is they have to be in Arkansas for at least 3 years. This is our scholarship that is one that has the most stringent when it comes to residency. You have to be living here in Arkansas for 3 years before applying. You have to complete the FAFSA. You don't have to complete high school here in Arkansas. You can complete high school in another state. It will pay tuition and fees. once you're done with the program, you are required to work in Arkansas for 3 years. Otherwise, it turns into a loan. And so don't let that kind of worry you, because the job can be anything. It doesn't have to be in your specific field. You want to work at your parents' bakery, you want to work at a convenience store, you want to work at, wherever. Like, it does not, the job does not matter. What does matter is it has to be continuous. So you have to be on a work schedule continuously.
What about an apprenticeship? Would they be able to get into an apprenticeship because it is a full-time job? And even though the apprenticeship's complete, they're still employed with that same employer. So that would work as well?
Yeah, that'll work. Yeah,
Awesome. So we could definitely talk to candidates in regards to that to support
absolutely.
3 years.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Oh, this went into some of the uh, programs or degrees or fields that the Arkansas Future covers. We can take a look here for a second, and then I'll change it. So our Arkansas Workforce Challenge is similar to the Arkansas Future. Oh, and I guess I forgot to mention, um, Arkansas with Arkansas Future, it doesn't cover every single program. It is restricted to those STEM fields. There, and it's always changing. So every year there's additions, there's deletions. So it's best to, when a student applies, we do send them a list or a link to that list. Hey, be sure that you're on this list. That list can also be found on our website. But just recognize there's only certain degrees that can be covered by the Arkansas Future. They are only associate degrees or below. Excuse me, associate degrees or below. There's nothing after an associate degree. So if a student's going for a bachelor's, unfortunately, Arkansas Future doesn't qualify for any of that.
Hey, Josue, I see here it says state high demand. Does that mean that, or regional high demand, those are jobs that are within a certain category that the state needs more candidates or employees
Yes,
in that area? Okay.
yes, and yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because it brings back to what I mentioned earlier. They are all in the STEM fields except for certain ones, and it's these state high demands and regional high demands areas. Um, there's some regions here in Arkansas, and I don't know, I'm just gonna make things out of, like, in my head. As this, I'm from Wicks, Arkansas. Like, Wicks, Arkansas, they really, really, like, they need a vet. Whereas I'm sure in Fayetteville, they don't need vets, but they need a vet here in Wicks. The closest college I think is like Ridge Mountain Community College. So if they have a program for that vet that they really, really need in that area, or that the state really, really needs for our state, we add that on the list, and it can be covered for the future grant.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
The Arkansas Workforce Challenge, this scholarship is similar to the Arkansas Future, where it only covers certain programs. And this list is a lot shorter than the Arkansas Future. Um, the highest is still an associate degree that it covers, and below. It is only a one-time scholarship. It is only a one-time scholarship of $800. Um, I'm trying to think of students who mostly benefit from this. And the students that mostly benefit from this are students that are going towards like continuing education units in healthcare, or even or like some technical certificates. We have a lot of, like, especially in the healthcare, like assistants, nursing assistants, disinfectant assistant, um, uh, radiology assistant, that you can get in like a semester or two.
Mhm.
And so a lot of those students, especially with like students that don't want to go back, aren't in a position in their lives where they can go back full time to get a, a bachelor's degree. Those students that are still wanting to learn, get their foot in the door, this is where we see those students. The Arkansas Workforce Challenge, it covers those smaller programs. They can get that degree, build themselves up, hopefully earn a little money, and then hopefully come back and benefit from our other ones like the Arkansas Future and then our Arkansas Challenge. And uh, so this one, this one is our smallest one, and I think it's just because there's not much word on it, but it does pay a lot more than some of these other programs. So I'm glad we're utilizing it.
Josue,
Our
I've got a
web,
question
yeah.
on, I'm sorry. So the Arkansas Workforce Challenge, is there any eligibility requirement on not having a previous degree completed? So say you have an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree that you really wish you didn't have in accounting or whatnot, and um, anything such as that.
No, and that is a really good question, Ashley.
All
So
right.
my boss gives gold stars, so I'm like, oh, gold stars. Um, uh, No, so no, for the Arkansas workforce, there is not. Also, for the Arkansas future, there is not. A student can have an associate degree, a bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate degree, and still get the workforce challenge and the Arkansas future. Where they can't get the Arkansas future anymore is if they've gotten an associate degree using the Arkansas future and then are going to get another one. So that's it. Our website is sams.adhe.edu. Um, our Whenever a student goes to that website, it's in the middle of the page, and we have tried to fight our IT team to put it at the top, but it can't be done apparently. You'll have to scroll down a little on our website, but there in the middle, you'll see these two boxes. If you have never applied for any of our state scholarships, you'll hit that one on the left to create an account. If you have applied for our scholarship in the past, you'll hit the one on the right. If you forgot your username and password, it's just like social media. You'll just hit that forgot email, forgot password. It'll send you a link to your email, reset, right? So once you're in, and once you've applied, like once you create the account, it'll it'll guide you to applying. Once you log in, there's a big blue box that says apply for scholarship. So you'll click that and it'll guide you through a questionnaire. All our application is a questionnaire. So as long as you answer it correctly or honestly, it will um, pull up all the applications that you're eligible for. If you're not accurate, super accurate, and application comes up that you don't qualify for, that's absolutely fine too. We would just let you know on later on, hey, you don't qualify because of this. But everything should pop up once you do fill out the application that you qualify for. You will hit submit. Um, Once you hit submit, it will take you back to your screen, like this top picture here, and it will show you two boxes, or like it'll show you, depending on how many scholarships you apply, a box for each scholarship. And each one will have a different status. Each status means different things. For these two, as our example, it says eligibility pending. And what that means is we're missing something to complete your application. So they can click on that long bar that says details. It will give them a little bit more details, which is that screen at the bottom. It'll give you a description of what eligibility means. And basically, again, you're missing something. We need something from you. And then below that, it will list the things that we need from you. So for this student, we're missing the FAFSA for this next year, which makes sense because the FAFSA is not going to be available until December 1st. So we don't have that. And we haven't had any eligible test scores showing she has a 19 on the ACT. So it lets a student know that the student either has to take that ACT and get a 19 and then send it to the school, and we get through our state system, we get that that information. And then when the FAFSA is available, she'll just complete it and we'll get that automatically sent to us.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Pretty streamlined and pretty easy to manage.
we're trying to. That's one of the things that I really focus on. Like I get it. 15 seconds is all my attention span can hold. So how can I get as much information or like to you in 15 minutes or in like 2 to 3 sentences? So
I think it's awesome. I
yeah,
also noticed when you go to the scholarship application page, it like really, if you just hover over where it says students or counselors or teachers, and there's even financial aid for teachers. So that must be one of those in-state demand jobs that we need. And then parents, so even parents, and one of the I had a friend recently ask me from another state, how do I find out about resources for my child that's exploring careers? And so I kind of told her to go to her local division of higher ed and look at their website. So a lot of information here. A lot of information here.
yeah, yes. And thank you for reminding me, Jenny. We talked earlier about like due to time restraint, I couldn't present everything, and so an idea would be to list all our scholarships the scholarships at the end. But I do want to mention some that we have for students that we didn't mention. We do have scholarships for teachers, so anyone that is wanting to be a teacher. We do also have scholarships for students or for once they are a teacher and they want to continue their education. We have a scholarship for that. Uh, there's a scholarship for teachers that if you took out student loans and you wanted to, and you work in an area that is underserved or high critical needs, if every year you work there, we forgive a certain amount of your loan and for up to 3 years. We have scholarships for National Guard
Participants.
Guardsmen, yeah, National Guardsmen, children and spouses of
Amazing.
military that were hurt in action. We have a scholarship for law enforcement. It's technically members of the public, so that could go into teachers, uh, officers, firemen. If they were hurt in the line of duty, their dependent can get a scholarship. I think that's kind of, I mean, there's more. There's if you're wanting to go to vet school, we have uh, a scholarship here in Arkansas that we recognize we don't have certain schools here in Arkansas, like a vet school, chiropractic school, dental school, um, I think a podiatry. But there's certain schools we don't have here in Arkansas. We pay students to go out of state, but with the promise that they'll come back. If they do come back for every year that they work here, that loan is forgiven. So, and
Awesome.
it's usually up to like 60,000 that they get a year.
That's awesome.
So yeah, a lot of resources. And so if one of those speaks out to you, um, uh, reach out to this email, financialaid@adhe.edu. We have several people monitoring it, so it's a lot quicker with like getting responses.
Absolutely.
Um, and then I can give you my I can give you my email, or we can put it up in some way, or however you would like, or if you'd like to send it in an email later, I can give you all my email. And then if y'all have any questions, again, just shoot me an email and I'll get back with
Awesome.
you.
I can add it to the when I send it out in an email to our participants, I can share that as well. And I'll copy you in when I send that as well. But I really want to thank you for your time today. This is so much information that is so helpful to our Arkansans and really a way to help like them grow their skill set and change a life, right? When you think about
Yeah.
somebody who didn't have an opportunity or didn't even realize they had an opportunity, that these are resources that can help them change the lives of not only them, but their whole family. And those are important things that we can do to give back to our community. And I appreciate your time today to share these resources. I did want to open it up and see if we had any questions in our audience, if anybody had any questions that they would like to ask Josue.
I
Please.
think I already stole the one question that was in
Okay.
chat and you confirmed. But no, I'm just grateful for, sometimes you get information overload, and it's not until you have someone walk through all the details on, financial cost available, eligibility, which one, the deadlines, and your summary, in addition to your website, does a great job filtering through based on if you're, a high school graduate, non-traditional, in that timeline. So thank you for all that you do, Josue, and your team.
Thank you. Yeah. And I like our introduction said there's 6 of us for the entire state of Arkansas. But we are a good team. Like Jenny and I discussed, it makes a big difference when you have a good team. And we're here to help. We're all student oriented. We're doing our best to try to get you guys free money and help, like you said, those families, right?
Awesome.
So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. And without further ado, I'll let you guys have your afternoon back. And we'll send out this recording next week, and it will also be posted on our YouTube page. Thank you guys for your time and have a great day.
Yeah. Have a good
Thanks,
vacation,
Jenny.
Jenny.
Thank you. Bye, guys.